In this video, we're going to be talking a little bit more about piping and tubing and some of the functions that you have to do as an HVAC tech with tubing and piping. The purpose of tubing and piping is simple. It actually provides a path for refrigerant to take. It provides a means to return oil to the compressor. It provides a means to supply oil or gas to a heating appliance. And it provides a path for water to take in hydronic heating and cooling systems. Proper installations prevent refrigerant and other fluid loss. Okay, there are several types and sizes of copper tubing. It's either soft or hard drawn. K pipe is very heavy duty. L pipe is standard weight, and M or DWV are lighter weight piping. ACR tubing is measured by outside diameter. Nominal tubing is measured by inside diameter. The difference between inside and outside diameter is usually 1/8 of an inch. So ACR tubing, again, is measured by outside diameter. Nominal is measured by inside. And again, it's 1/8 of an inch difference. Both pipes are physically the same size, but they're identified differently depending on the application. Tubing insulation material prevents the heat transfer between the fluid in the pipe and the surrounding air. It reduces the formation of condensation on cold lines, such as cold water lines or the suction line on an air conditioning system. It increases the efficiency of hydronic heating systems by keeping the heat in the pipes. Closed cell insulation is desired. Tubing can be cut with a hacksaw or tubing cutter. The tubing cutters for refrigeration lines and smaller tubing is used. Hacksaws for larger diameter piping material. Regardless of how you cut it, all burrs should be removed from the tubing after cutting. All cuts must be perfectly straight. So this is an example of a wheel tubing cutter. Okay, mark the tubing at the desired cut point. Position the tubing on the rollers. Tighten the knob on the cutter until the cutting wheel comes in contact with the tube. Rotate the cutter around the tubing. Tighten the wheel as you go. Continuing rotating and tightening the knob until the tubing is cut. Maintain a moderate pressure on the wheel at all times. Do not over-tighten the knob. Okay, only soft-drawn tubing should be bent. You want to use bends of a large radius as possible. Don't allow tubing to kink or flatten. Tubing can be bent with a bending spring or lever-type bender. Bending springs can be used on either the inside or outside of the tube. Now, this is a lever-type bender. Secure the tubing in the lever bender at the proper position. As you pull the handles together, the tubing bends on the guide, and the guide has specific ridges for different types of tubing. To make flare joints, okay, cut the tubing to the desired length and ream it out. Remove all the flare, all the burrs, and anything else. Slip the flare nut over the end of the tubing. Clamp the tube in the flare block. Place the yoke over the flare block. Turn the yoke screw down firmly to the flare. Remove the yoke and inspect the flare. Okay, this is what a flare connection looks like along with a flare fitting. Swagging involves expanding one end of a suction tube to join two sections of the same size tubing. The joint is then soldered or brazed. The depth of the swag should be equal to the diameter of the tubing. A swagging tool and flare block are required to make a swag joint. Procedures for the swagging start off very similar to flaring. Secure the tubing in the flare block. The tube should extend from the flare block a distance equal to the diameter of the tube plus 1/8 of an inch. Insert the swagging tool into the end of the tube. Strike the swagging tool with a hammer or use your yoke with the proper wedge on it until the proper shape and length has been obtained. Inspect the swag. Okay, so again, there's additional piping materials you see that are not metal. ABS is used for water drains, waste, and venting. Okay, PE is used for water, gas, and irrigation system. PVC can be used for highly pressured applications, can be used for low temperature applications. CPVC is used for temperatures up to 180 degrees and can be used for pressures up to 100 degrees. Joining PVC and CPVC are about the same. Okay, cut the pipe square, remove any burrs from the end of the pipe, clean the end of the pipe with a primer. Most often that's a purple liquid. Okay, let it dry. Apply the cement to the inside of the fitting and the outside end of the pipe. Insert the pipe all the way into the fitting, turn pipe about a quarter turn and hold for 1 minute. For steel pipe, okay, it can be seam welded or produced without a seam. Black pipe or galvanized, it's a zinc coated piping. It's used in plumbing, hydronic, and gas heating applications. Pipe sizers are referred to the nominal pipe size. Nominal size is approximately equal to the inside diameter of the pipe. To cut steel pipe, it can be cut with a hacksaw or pipe cutter. All cuts must be perfectly square. The pipe cutter is a larger version of the tubing cutter discussed earlier. Over tightening the pipe cutter can create large burrs in the pipe and shorten the life of the cutting wheel. After cutting is complete, the pipe needs to be reamed out to remove any burrs. When the pipe reaches the outer end of the stock and die, threading is complete. Okay, so to thread steel pipe, secure the pipe in a pipe vise, place the cutting die on the end of the pipe and apply oil. Turn the die into the pipe using the stock as a ratchet. Turn the die 1 or 2 turns and then back the die off the pipe a quarter turn. Repeat oiling and threading until the pipe is flush with the far side of the die. Joining by welding or using threaded fittings is how we normally join steel pipe. Tapered threads are usually used on pipe and fitting. The tapered threads reduce the chance of leaks. There should be 7 perfect threads and 2 imperfect threads for each joint. To install steel pipe, use pipe wrenches to hold or turn pipes and fittings. Apply pipe dope to the male threads of the pipe. Avoid getting dope into the 2 threads at the end of the pipe. Use 2 wrenches to tighten a connection. The wrenches should be positioned in the opposite directions. So that's just a summary of the different types of methods of joining pipe. There's different methods for copper, there's different methods for steel, there's different methods for galvanized. Okay, there's different methods for PVC, but they can all be joined together and made leak-free.